I know why I was getting feedback. I forgot to mute.
Good.
It just hit.
Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Happy Memorial Day, and thanks for joining us on a weird Monday afternoon edition. Had a party here yesterday, so couldn't do a Sunday show, but I thought, hey, let's do a Monday show because I didn't want to skip a whole week, especially with the eBay summer 2018 summer release coming out. So I thought we should talk about that.
Yes, for sure.
And as you can see, my studio audience is filtering in here. Hello.
Look at that. Hi, everybody.
See no evil, no hear no evil, speak no evil.
Nice to have an audience. But mom's the mom. Especially after that party yesterday. And mom's on cloud 9. My cabbies pulled it out last night. Best of 7. So we beat Boston on their home court. So if any Bostonians are in the audience, I'm sorry, but not sorry.
All right, Mama smoking. Sorry, not sorry.
Just be real, Peggy.
So we'll either see Deb in the playoffs or anybody from Houston out there. You know, but it was a good day for Cleveland. So we're excited. 4 years in a row to the finals. Can't hate that. Yep, that's pretty sweat.
And today, in a couple hours, the puck drops on the final. So
yeah. Now, what do they have to win on their series?
4.
4, same thing. Okay, well, that's cool.
All right, so before we dive into it, let me ask if anyone's watching right now, and thanks for all you tuning in. And is anyone watching from their barbecue? Is anyone outside? Like the kids are playing, someone's grilling. Are you actually watching the show? Because that would be epic if someone was watching right now from their barbecue. So here's a question I have, because, and not so much in my groups, because, you know, the Thrifting Board and the Secret Beach, there's sellers who understand the art of selling, who want to be there and understand the changes that eBay needs to make. But this is the most boring, and I'm not using that in a bad way, seller update I've ever seen, in terms of there isn't a lot of changes, so to speak, just some fine tuning. And there are people losing their minds saying they're quitting eBay over this update.
Yeah, I heard that too. And I've seen some posts, and I thought, geez, this was kind of mild in comparison, I thought.
So if anyone's watching that's upset and maybe tuned in to hear me talk about it, and, you know, I'm one of the eBay influencers, and I was on a call about 10 days before the update came out, because they always give us the heads up so we can get ready and talk to our followers and our viewers and stuff like that. And I was on a plane, and so I had this conference call at 35,000 feet, and we got done, and just to myself, I'm like, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
This will be the one that no one gets upset. And then I see people saying they're quitting. I'm just like, what?
I know. I saw one that she said she was totally upset. How come? Are you still getting feedback on me?
No.
Okay.
Are you?
I can hear it. Yeah. Can the chat hear an echo?
I don't think so, because no one's saying anything yet. So
okay. All right.
I'm sure they would have said something. But, you know, let's go through it, you know, bit by bit, because and I'm not going to read the minutia of everything, but, you know, there's one great change. There's such a great change that people who had left should be coming back.
It's very echoey.
Is it echoey?
Uh-huh. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Sounds fine to me. Sounds okay on this end.
All right, so while I'm talking here for a second, I'm gonna mute you, Mom.
Oh,
okay, go ahead.
I know. It's always my mom. I don't know what's up with that.
Chardon.
Yeah, Chardon. All right. You're muted, Mom. Quit talking. I just told you I was gonna mute you. Jeez. Where's my block of Where's my block of wood?
Don't do that today, Jason.
All right. So if I mute Mom, it's yeah, I'm guessing no echo, because I wasn't echoing.
Not Jason, just Peggy.
Yeah. See, the bummer is if I put on headphones, it'll probably go away, but then the studio audience will only be able to hear me. That's what I was trying to.
Well, I bet that everyone hears you both.
Right. All right. So bring Mom back on. Now you can talk, Mom.
All right. I'm just going to say, let me plug in the microphone. Just in case. Hold on.
What do you mean?
Plugging in?
What are you plugging in? That wasn't plugged in?
My headphones were in, and I just took the microphone out so I could get the headphones in. Now, is there any echo now? How do we sound now? I think it sounds better on my end. I mean, I don't hear any echo.
All right, we'll see. We'll give it a second here. No,
All right,
Mom
we'll
does
see.
not live in a canyon. Mom lives in the woods.
Very wooded.
All right.
All right, let's give it a
All
go.
right. So let's okay. Let's roll into it now because we seem to be doing better. All right. So here's what's new in a nutshell: expanding the product-based shopping experience, automating returns to save processing time, new eBay store subscriber benefits and discounts, and that's just that part we're not even going to go into all that much. Oh, I got an offer. Cool. All right. Squirrel. Okay, so summer seller update. Let's just start with the inventory optimization. And basically what that means is they're expanding the product-based shopping experience. So imagine Amazon, and now it's going to be eBay. And why is that beneficial and helpful? Anything that has a barcode. And so anyone like a lot of us here, and this trio hit the bins and the Savers today, and they found all kinds of cool clothes and stuff.
Trio has nothing to do with that. Except I sent them to the bin. Yes, that's all I did.
But so Kim found a jacket that's gonna be worth a few $100s, and there's no need to stress and fret over that because that will not be in the catalog. But what is in the catalog is anything that has a barcode. So if I was going to sell this Puffs Extra Soft, because the barcode is here, you'll plug in the barcode, and guess what? Just like Amazon, eBay will have all the data. So what does that mean from the seller's end? That means way quicker listing times. Now, this will not help any of us like, that sell one-offs and rare and antiques and stuff, but it's nothing we need to worry about. But all of us from time to time sell stuff that has barcode. So as long as there's a barcode, eBay's going to have the data. Now, here's what's cool. Now that had already started, but here's what's new. And this is what I love. So if your product is not in there, you can actually create a page for your product. And I don't mean just the listing. I mean, okay, they have never created this box of Puffs yet. And so I'm going to create a page, and then everyone else can base their listings off of my page. Now, the way they've got it set up is if I create a page for this item, and then Debbie creates a page for this item, and then Stephanie creates a page, they'll notice because of the barcode, it is all the same item, and then they'll all get combined. And the way it is to work is it'll be all kind of fine-tuned. And, say Debbie forgets one part, like it's got blue petals, and I put that in, and then Stephanie puts that in, they'll say, all right, blue petals is apparently important to this box of Kleenex. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean that's a nice feature.
And I see Love the Bearded said race to the bottom. Well, not necessarily, because it'll still be how well you are as a seller, your terms of service, your seller rating, your feedback. And so as long as you're still bringing the best the best buyer experience to your buyers, then you'll still get the win all the time. I sell thousands of dollars of CDs every year, and that's a barcode item. I sell them on both eBay and Amazon. And this weekend I sold $30 CDs, $50 CDs, and other people have them, but I hold for my price and I know I'm going to get it. So you don't have to race to the bottom. You can race to the bottom, but you don't have to. But also, if you're selling products that are not commanding high dollars, there's no point. I see people listing products for $3. There's just no point.
Right.
Now, also, if there is a listing already and you're like, hey, man, this is not right. And here's where it's not right a lot of times in the CD world. Back when CDs were still a hot commodity at like Target and Best Buy and Walmart, Harry Connick Jr. would have a Christmas CD come out, and then this would be like the normal release. And then the Target would get a different release with a different cut. And then the Walmart would have a different cut. And then Best Buy would have a different cut. So they're not the same records. So if someone tries to combine those two, they're really not the same release. And so you'll be able to suggest and edit. You'll be able to say, hey, yo, eBay, this listing isn't just. This is not right. And all these things you can do on Amazon already. I'm an Amazon seller. I've created listings. I've suggest edits. And eBay will review it. And then, they will hopefully come to the right determination. Do I have any questions I should be? Nothing yet? Okay, cool. And so what'll happen is, if you see your screen here, if you're selling a commodity product like this, this thermostat, instead of having 10,000 listings on eBay, they'll all be under one umbrella, the barcode it goes to. I mean, that's how it works on other selling platforms already. You know, when you say I want an iPhone, you don't need to have 10,000 pages for iPhone. You're gonna have one for iPhone, and then you're gonna say, okay, I want an iPhone 10. I want an iPhone 10 with 164 gigabytes. I want an iPhone 10 with 164 gigabytes in space gray. And then it'll start to break it down. And then you'll have your options for what you want based on the seller. So when you go see a seller who's got, you know, a 92% feedback, as opposed to one, maybe you're like, oh, this one's got 100. And they sold a lot of these. So that's how, you know, again, you're still gonna be able to stand out in a crowd, but we do it already. I mean, the difference now is there's 10,000 listings. How does someone find you in 10,000? At least they're going to be on the landing page, and you just got to be more attractive than your neighbor.
It's really not that much.
No, and they're just bolstering what has already started. But what's nice is now, and this will really play a factor for me, a lot of CDs I could list on eBay, but I'd rather do it quicker on Amazon because they don't have them in there. Well, I'll actually take the time to get listings up. Like, I'll create the listing because CDs are one of my passions. And I want to make sure that if one of my other friends finds the exact CD that wasn't up on eBay before, they'll now have the option to list it because I created it. So, you know, it's kind of a cool thing that you're able to create on the platform if they're missing something from the database. And then a few categories: coins, comics, pottery and glass, and tires have some new item specifics that if you have a good till canceled listing already, nothing will happen. But if you go to relist or you create a new listing, you're going to have to make sure that you're picking up the new item specifics and using them. And if you're not using item specifics, and I see it all the time, I see it when people are listing the social media share threads and the thrifting board, and I go and I'm like, the item specifics is what makes buyers find you. That's another way, because I don't care how many people I teach, how many people I talk to, there's still people who won't do it. And so if you do it, if you use all your item specifics and you make up some of your own that makes it even easier for people to find your products, you will get better traffic to your listings.
Maybe that's something we should do on another show.
Create item specifics?
Yeah.
Sure, we can do that.
All right.
Write it down, Ma, and don't lose it like you're scanning notes.
I won't.
So I taught my mom how to scan pictures. Oh, look how easy, look how nice. So today she sent me pictures, not the scanned way, but the old way of her taking a photo of it. I'm like, what happened to scanning? And she goes, I lost my notes. Okay, well, how do I get you to not lose your notes?
I don't know. That's a good one.
You can bring the horse to water.
That's right. What can I say? Oh, I just wish I could be here when you're a senior in my age.
Well, I can't really do it in a show. I mean, it could kind of, but I mean, every printer is different. So, you know, there is no.
Mom, she could just watch the show again.
Yeah. All right. So the next part is about selling metrics and shipping. And basically what this is going to show you where you're messing up. So if you're constantly messing up, it's going to give you better metrics to show you where you're messing up. And it's going to compare you to your fellow sellers. And what it's going to do is going to compare you to like fellow sellers. When I say like, I mean, if you're selling hubcaps like my boy Hubcap Joe, he will not be compared with me selling used bras. But me selling used bras might be compared to Kim selling used jeans. It'll be more in the clothing category. So it'll kind of be category specific. I mean, it won't be drilled down to minutia. Like, they're not going to just compare people who are selling BMW hubcaps, people selling, you know. But it'll show you how you stack up. It'll show you how your metrics are doing. So if you see the screen here, know the reasons why. Take a look at the reasons customers gave for returning items to you. So if you're getting a lot of returns, it'll show you, like in this example, not working or defective, there was 100 of those. Wrong item, there was 50. Arrived damaged, 46. Boy, this is a shitty seller. Not as described, 12. Not authentic, 10. Missing parts or pieces, 6. So you can see, you know, if it's, you know, if you see a metric that's way out of whack, you better reel it in. You better pause and go, what am I doing wrong here? And then it'll show you, like, if you look to the side, clothing, shoes, and accessories, your average compared to your fellow clothing sellers. That makes sense? Their giggles?
Yes. Our waitress just asked if we needed a cocktail. We said yeah.
So, nothing's really new here other than they're going to give it to you a little bit easier. So you'll see all your metrics in one place for all your returns, and it'll help you pinpoint any problems. Now, some of this stuff is going to be for bigger sellers, because if you're a small seller and you're selling 4 things a week or 2 things a month, you should probably know your metrics without having to see a chart. But if you're selling a couple hundred things a month, then every once in a while you might want, like, why am I getting all these returns? Oh, I'm doing a bad job at describing the fit of the bra kind of thing. And also, and this, you should be doing this already. And I will not shop with anyone that doesn't do this. So do this now, do this immediately. Your zip code needs to be in your eBay ID. So when eBay's telling a customer how long it's going to take to get to them, and customers are basing their purchasing on if it can get here in 2 days or 5 days, if you just put the world or United States or Southern California, that does no good. You got to put your exact zip code in, because that's how eBay uses the metrics of the USPS and FedEx to determine if it's going to get to them in time or not. So if you do not have your zip code logged in, log your zip code in. And so the question I have is, anyone watching right now not have your zip code in? And if so, why not? That's what I've always wondered, because that's the whole reason to have zip codes, not just be like, hey, we have 17 sellers and 89074. No, it is to let the customer know based on the formula. So anyone not have their zip code in there?
How would I know?
How would you know?
Where do I have to look?
Well, let's look at one of your listings, shall we? You're on the spot now, Ma.
Yep.
Yeah, yours is logged in because it says Newberry, Ohio. So it's right there.
Where am I looking?
I'm going to show you in a quick second as I make it bigger. See where it says item location? That means you plugged in your zip code instead of just writing something funny. Like back in the day, I used to write, when I was working in Hollywood, I think I wrote Holly Weird or something. I thought I was edgy and funny. But of course, that did no good if you wanted to see how far I was going to get to you.
So I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
So if item location says something screwy like the United States or the world, that means that you thought you were funny. Don't do that. Put your zip code in. Heather's got a great question. Why does eBay let China sellers have so many negative feedbacks and still provide service on eBay? I'm going to guess, Heather, that you're not looking at how many transactions and positives they got, because although to me and you 10,000 negatives might seem a lot, if they just sold 1 million products, the percentage is still very tiny. So what's mine right now? Let me tell you what mine is, because I've had I've had 2 negatives in the last year. One deserved, one not, but oh well, shit happens. Yeah, 90. I got 1 neutral and 2 negatives. I'm at 99.6. Now, you can see in a Chinese seller with 99.6 and 10,000 negative feedbacks if they're selling 1 million items.
Right.
So it's on percentage. It is not on number. So don't just look at that number and think, well, how are they still selling? It's still a percentage. I'm still selling, and I'm not 100%. I'm 99.6.
Mommy beating you at 99.7, but I don't sell as much as you, I don't think.
What is it?
What is it? What do you think it is?
Oh.
Debbie's favorite.
Hair of the dog. All right.
Oh my God, I can't believe you drink.
All right. So that's that. There we go. Okay. So eBay stores, there is really not a lot here that we need to talk about, because some of the things are, But here's the thing. Industry standard is that you cannot mark down a price on an item you just put for sale until it's been up for 14 days. And that's industry standard. we were able up until this change to put an item out, like list it today and already put it on sale. And some people have that mentality where, you know, they think of everything shows on sale, that more people will be apt to buy. And I kind of agree with that. But the industry standard is that you shouldn't and can't put a product on sale right after you release it. So,
All right. So I have a question then. So
yeah,
say I ran a sale starting today, and I had a few items that I just listed like yesterday or the day before. Will they just automatically not be available to go on sale, or do I have?
It will not go on sale now. If you have it, say you had a 21-day sale, and you listed new products today, it'll automatically put those into the sale on day 15.
Okay.
It'll snag them and stick them in there.
All right.
Now, those of you who are complaining about this, and this is one of the things I've seen complaints about, there was discussion if it should be 30 days or 14. So be happy it's just 14. So, question from Becky: what if you only do 10-day listings? Can they never go on sale? Becky, is that a 10-day auction? Because why would you be doing 10-day buy it now listings? Because I've never heard anyone do that. You guys ever done that?
No.
Yeah. Plus, if you're doing an auction,
Unless it's something that I really want to go for a really high price and I want to get 2 weekends.
well, that's an auction though.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we're talking about putting your
Buy it
stuff
now.
and your buy it nows on sale in
Oh,
your
yeah.
store.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Becky's doing 10-day buy it nows. Why, Becky? If you think it keeps at the top because you're doing 10-day buy it nows, then we would all be doing 10-day buy it nows, and we're not. List it and forget it. Good till cancel.
She says I have my reason.
Can she share her reasons?
Says most
Yeah.
most selling jewelry do that.
Oh, most. I guess she sells
That's what
jewelry.
Okay.
Most selling jewelry.
Well, then if that's the way you do it, I mean that's fine. Excuse me, but aren't you paying more for listing fees? If you're relisting every 10 days, that is taking up one of your spots. Where those of us who do 30 or like I recommend good till cancel, that's just one listing every month. You're doing 3 listings a month for the same product. And then the new question I just got, I don't understand. Diana, how about folks that relist or do sell similar? If it's just relisted, it's a product that's been up there already, so it can go on sale.
Becky says she disagrees. When her auction gets to the 9.5 day, those watchers buy.
Okay, you just said auction. Becky, are we talking about auctions or buy it nows?
Yes.
Becky, help me, Becky. We're talking about buy it nows. Are you talking about auctions? Auctions are cool. 10 days auctions are great. So if you're doing auctions, that's not what we're talking about right now. So I'm going to move on.
Sorry.
All right. I need to list for how many minimum days? If it goes after 30 days, do I need to relist and wait for 14 days? No. It'll know that is not a brand new listing. It'll know. What? All right. We're going to move on from that. And then they give us some new merchandising opportunities, which we haven't really seen yet. So I'm looking forward to what that is to help you merchandise your store. And then they've got some free 3-month trial with Gusto, built for the modern business, how to pay employees, discounts on accounting services. So other than the whole don't put your shit on sale for 2 weeks, nothing else really is all that exciting. But they are removing something. I want to point this out because we were just discussing this the other day. The search engine keywords are gone. They've not been used forever. And people were still saying that you should still be using them and editing them. Well, they're actually being removed because they're not used anymore. So don't worry about it. If you're one of those people who are still working on your search engine keywords, they're gone. Don't worry about them. Do not worry.
I have a question.
Yes, Ma.
Going back to the barcode situation. At one point when you and I had talked, you had said, I'm hearing an echo, honey. Probably they are too. You had said that we should assign our own barcode to items like my water skis or, the crazy items that mom sells that don't have barcodes. And then they might eventually hit that category. Are we supposed to do that?
We didn't talk about that. And that has not been, that was a big thing. And then we haven't talked about that on our influencer calls. So
Okay.
I'm thinking that's one of those things that maybe was abandoned, or maybe they're like, this isn't working the way we thought it would. And that's one of the great things I like about eBay is, look, they've given us some crap over the years that just did not work well. for us as sellers. And I've seen a lot of it go away. Now, those of you who are new, you might not have, but I've been doing this for 18 years. So there's been some things like the day I met Devin Wenig, current CEO of eBay on Capitol Hill, we were having a little powwow about things. He goes, a couple things he told me. He goes, I cannot believe how many clicks it takes to pay for an item. We got to get that down. And right away, it went from like 17 clicks to like 2. So when he saw the things that were going bad, he fixed them. And the other thing too was they realized the top rated seller stars, the original 4 we had, weren't good for us, and it didn't work right. And so they got rid of that, so they'll always fix things. And Cat's Meow wants to know what search engine keywords are. That's a long, just when we're done with the show, go Google SEO and it'll explain it to you. It's how you drive traffic to a platform. Buzzwords, brands, stuff like that. All right, now in the simplified returns process, and this is where most people are like, I'm quitting. Free returns. Good gosh. If you're listing your products properly and you're selling the right products, you should not get a lot of returns. How many returns? Oh, we're in May. How many returns do you think you've had so far this year?
Maybe 2.
So Debbie's had 2.
More. I've had probably this year.
Yeah.
Probably 7, 8.
7.
Clothing.
Mhm.
It's a lot
I do a lot of
zero,
clothing.
and I don't do clothes.
So
I do
Stephanie's
very
had
little
0, and I have one I got back for stains that have no stains, but we're going to talk about that in a second. And I maybe have had 3. And so on an average, we're way less than 1 a month between 4 sellers.
And I think Mom's had 1.
Okay. And so when people get so worried about returns, and look, I know there are a few categories that get way more returns than others. I get that. For the average seller, though, if you're listing properly with good pictures, good titles, the right description,
Measurements.
and measurements, yeah, well, thank you, you shouldn't have too many returns. And so they're going to quicken the return process, because one of the pain points for buyers, and guess what? If we don't have buyers, we ain't sellers, is they're quickening the process. If the buyer says, hey, man, I don't want this because fit, color, whatever, there'll be immediate label generated and won't be taken away from us. And then off it goes. If they say it is item not as described or something that, or it arrived broken and they want to return it, it'll be an immediate label generated charge to us, the seller. But here's the good part. You get down to it here. Okay, as we announced in our 2018 Spring Seller Update, when you offer free returns, you can decide to issue partial refunds to buyers when the item is returned in an altered condition. We have created a new condition of return item policy to educate buyers that the returned item must be in the same condition in which it was received. eBay has heard our pain points of buyers renting our stuff. I'll show you an example. Fall, that would suck. This is the Time Life Treasury Christmas CD I tell you all to buy. And this past year, the prices were down, so it probably won't be a bolo for next year. But I sold this on December 18th, and guess when I got it back? In January 27th. Guess who borrowed Christmas music from me? That buyer. Oh, well. And that's how it should be. Oh, well.
Can't dwell on the negative. Let's go ahead and list some more new things.
Yeah. So it'll happen. But guess what? If you're Walmart, if you're Target, or if you're just Debbie Weeder, who's got a little, apple selling shack on the side of the road, someone will buy stuff from you and return it. It doesn't matter if you're a big or small company. There are returns. That is part of business. And every single person watching, every single person sitting here has returned items to a store, big and small,
Yes.
for a variety of reasons.
It's a business.
It's part of business. And guess what? Every day is not a plus. Some days you got the minus.
That's right.
So great though. Chad said, but did they pay to return that CD? Yeah, $3. But still, I refunded their money. And exactly, I mean, it couldn't be more blatant. oh, I don't need this Christmas CD anymore. I'll just send it back. And I sell tons of Christmas CDs every year, and I only usually get like one like this a year, just one.
I think what they're saying is, did you do a free return? Did they?
Oh, did I do a free return? No, I think he just returned it, if I recall. But that was also
Mine are all free.
4 months ago.
Yeah.
But free returns, you know, it's not that big of a deal because there are still so few and far between. But with these new metrics, it'll show you why your stuff's getting returned. So maybe that'll help you figure out ways to not get so many returns. Yeah, Kim had someone borrow theirs. What was it?
It was a dress.
Kim sold a dress that
Came back
What-
on day 58. I have a 60-day return.
came back on day 58, had a nice vacation on a cruise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like
She
I don't
rent-
like it anymore.
She rented
I
it.
rented it for my cruise.
So Brenda has a great question. Will there be an automatic return label, or can we offer to solve the issue, possibly give partial refund? The way they're setting it up is if they go right to the return process, they're going to get it automated. If they come talk to you, it's a different story. It's always a different story if they come talk to you. But you know what? What do we all do when here? I'll put us all on camera. What do we all do when we get something back in a return? What do we do with it?
Market hire and
Market
sell it.
hire.
Yeah, very good. Almost in unison too. Market, hire, and sell it. I sold a pair of jeans for $80, and the second I sold them, I went, ugh, those jeans should have went for more. And the customer said, "Can I return these?" And I was like, "Yes, I'll pay too. Get it back here." So I got it back. I turned around, sold for $120. So I made a $40 because of a return, and I do that quite often. And if you watched Thrifty Business last week, that sexy evening gown camo dress with pearls that I sold once didn't fit the first buyer. I don't want a lady buying a dress for me unhappy. It doesn't fit her right. Came back, sold again. We're about the same price. And the person who bought it loves it. I should ask her to send me a picture. Let me see you in your fancy camo evening.
dress.
So that's a great question. What if we don't want to pay for them to return it, would rather just refund their money? That'll be an option. And this, you know, we talked about today, but again, it's one of those things where until you actually have it in front of you, till you see it in action, till you touch it, talking about it and reading the printed word is fine. As this stuff starts to roll out in the next 2 months, we'll definitely have more discussions on this show as they go into practice. And what happens too is eBay runs a lot of tests. I mean, it's not this like little podunk company. It's a big company. But, you know, running a test with 200 sellers and then opening it up to a couple million sellers, if there is hiccups and glitches and not working right, then they'll get it fixed. So the day it goes live for all of us, if it's something does not work right, don't be all like, I'm going to every bulletin board on Facebook and saying eBay sucks and I don't like any of this stuff. There will be glitches. It happens. I couldn't print my labels the other day. There was some weird glitch. It happens. You go do something else, you come back, you print your labels. Sabrina says, wouldn't you just add that refund price in listing price? Just use the zip code for distance from you. Well, you could, but typically if you're utilizing your flat rate boxes and your regional boxes, distance isn't really that big of a deal unless you're like my mom and dad who you want to ship, you know, water skis and TV VCR combos. But if you're shipping, you know, just kind of easy to ship stuff because of the variety of boxes, I'm not too concerned with, you know, distance. If seller pays for the return, does eBay credit seller for your cost of return shipping? If seller pays for the return, right? So if you, the seller, are getting charged for the return because it wasn't right or was broke or whatever, then yeah, it's coming out of your pocket. I think that's the question.
I wonder if they're talking about.
But then they want to credit you.
Free return.
Well, why would eBay credit you if you sent something that wasn't right?
I have 60 days.
See, that's why I don't know, Ma.
Yeah.
And when I say Ma, I don't mean you, Mom. I mean Ma Deuce.
I do free returns now.
I think they mean if you offer free returns and you pay it, you can get your money back?
No,
You're not.
no,
No.
because you've made a mistake.
Right.
You delivered something that wasn't right.
No, they just changed their mind. They just don't like it. What about that? Doesn't fit them. They don't like it.
Well, yeah, they pay for that. I already showed that graph, the graphic. If the buyer says it don't fit, they'll pay for the shipping. So there's no credit needed to the seller because the buyer paid for the shipping back. And then one on Chad's question, Jason and crew, are you going to stay at 60-day returns, buyer pays return shipping and lose top rated seller, or switch to 60-day free returns?
I do 60-day free returns.
Yeah.
now.
Most of us do it already. And again, 4 sellers or 5 with mom, we have less than 1 return a month altogether.
I do 60-day free returns.
And so again, everyone's focusing on, oh my God, I got to pay for returns up to 60 days. How many of you had? It's really a non-issue because if you had a ton, then you stink. Or you're in a category where there are a few categories that I get it. But I sell used bras and I hardly ever get returns. Can't be a more specific item that has to fit exactly right. You would think I would get more returns than I do, but I don't. Every once in a while I get a bra return, but I just sell it again. It's no big deal. If you don't want to do free returns on international sales, will I still get the top rated sticker? Yeah. Yes. The free returns will not. It's just domestic. It is not international. So don't worry about that. That's just domestic. All right. So that's the update. Like I said, as these procedures go into place and we see how they work, and then we will talk about them again. But this is just what's coming up. But the best part is you, the seller, can say, hey, eBay, Debbie didn't return the camo evening gown in the condition I sent it out in. It's covered in lipstick and smoke and perfume. And then eBay will step in. So they heard us. They heard us. Yes, if the return is not fitting, the buyer pays, right. But you could step up as a seller and go, no, I'll take that one. Because, again, you always want happy customers. So if you return an item to Walmart, they don't come get it from you. You still got to use your gas to take it back if it don't fit, that kind of thing. And because we're online, you can't try anything on. So there we go. All right. Let's get on to
questions, but we can answer them later if you want.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
This could go all day, obviously.
I know.
But that's it in a nutshell. And here, oops. Here you go. Go to ebay.com/seller update for all the and there's FAQs you can extend out. They've really written it out quite well. So feel free to read through that. All right, now it's time for fun and shenanigans. Oh, we have more. I'm having the biggest in studio audience I've ever had now.
I feel left out.
Keep pouring in. All right, so now Mama's Boy week, I show an embarrassing and or cute photo of me. This will be one of those weeks where you're all going to go, oh, look how cute. And look how much hair I used to have. What happened?
Oh, look at the outfit.
So for Memorial Day, my mom found me wearing red, white, and blue.
That's what I can find. That was his first day of nursery school.
So what am I here? 4, 5, 6? What am I?
4.
4.
There. Yep. And look at all that hair, Jason.
Look at that hair.
What's in the baggie?
I was going to ask what's in the bag.
Yeah, what's in the bag?
I think it was your snack, I think.
Your snacks.
All right, I got my snacks. Now,
He probably went to Savers.
this week, mine was my mom's and more so my aunt's outfit doesn't make you go.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's time for That's My Mama. Look at my aunt's shoulder pads on that purple outfit. So that's my Aunt Patty, my mom, my Uncle Nino, and my dad.
I love the shoulder pads, you guys. I mean, this is 1980. Yeah, well, this is my 40th birthday today. So 1980, what, 4?
That's 84.
84.
Wow, that's the year I graduated high school.
Those are the shoulder pads.
Bye.
I know. Crazy, huh?
See you soon.
So that, and if you're all down in my library, that's my uncle's hat that's sitting down on top of my TV down there with his 72 pounds of pins on that cowboy hat.
Still got him.
Your dad looks like Hef in that picture.
He does. I was just going to say that.
Does he have the
He
robe?
doesn't have any sideburns and no long hair. Boring.
All right.
Okay.
So let's get to mom's score. Oh, that's not the scores. That was making sure that it was a Newberry. Okay, let me back this up a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
All right, here we go with the scores. I picked this up at a garage sale, you guys, and I am always picking up the wallpaper borders or wallpaper. And this was the Cleveland Indians with Chief Wahoo on it. And I'm assuming just because Chief Wahoo is on his way out, I'm just been picking up stuff left and right when I see it at sales. I paid $3 for the wallpaper and sold it for the $29.99. So I've got a few more pieces that I just picked up. So, you know, always look for the wallpaper borders. I have sold very well with those. Okay, this was great. This is as you can see, a Mackenzie Child serving tray, the flower rattan thing. They were popular back in the day. It is marked on the back, so that helped me a lot when I was doing my research. I paid a whole $1 for that. I showed that on my haul back a little while ago and got the full asking price of the $57. So that was a nice sale, real nice sale. I showed these, didn't I, Jason, about a week ago?
Yep.
Yeah, this was the Kings Island tiki mug that we were totally shocked because it still had the original price tag on it and the Otagiri sticker on it. And I was even shocked that Kings Island had tiki mugs, you know, so I had to do some research. But I picked that up for $1.33 and sold it
$1.33.
well, $1.33 because I bought 3, you know, one of those deals, 3 for $5 or something. And I did take the best offer of $43. I probably could have held out for the 50, but I was happy with $43.
And while you're out there hunting for tiki mugs, Kings Island had more than one mug because I have one that's totally different. So apparently Kings Island at some point was a hotbed of tiki activity.
I know.
Who knew?
I know. Who would know? Okay, the only reason I stuck this in here, guys, it's not a specific brand, but the muscle cars on the shirt is what sold it, I'm sure. I only paid $2 for the shirt, but it's got the Corvette and the Mustang on there and T-Bird, so it was cars that I figured somebody would like. So sometimes you just get away from the main brands that we find all the time, and if it doesn't have a super duper brand, I didn't even put it in the title, as you can see, but I figured that the cars would sell it, and I spent $2 on the shirt and sold it for the $24.99. Remember this, Jason T?
It's a baseball cap with an erection.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Platypus.
This is by Held Company, H-E-L-D, and they make the big brim hats. And as you can see, it's an older label there. But I bought the hat for $1 and sold it for the $19.95. So not bad. Do you remember this? I just showed this about 2 weeks ago, and this is the vintage coal miner's lunch pail. That I did buy that. I spent a whopping $8 on this. But,
oh my gosh, Mom!
Oh,
but I figured it would sell, and it did. So that was a good price for that, and sold it quickly. Sold it very quickly. Okay, now the reason I showed this, Jason, I mean, it's not a big return on money, but these suckers still sell. This is the second one that Mom has found and sold. This is the Paris Casino Hotel in Vegas, and this is their tiki mug, and I paid 50 cents for it. So I got the full asking price of the $16.99. So that was. If I ever see them, I will continue to pick these up because I have sold them every time I get one. I sell them. So apparently people look for that, Jason, even though it's not fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yep.
This was a beautiful vintage Gila Hattie from the 1980s, you guys. One of those silky ones that I only paid $1 for and did get my full asking price of $34.99. Those of you who are getting into the Hawaiian shirts more and more, you can really tell the vintage ones just by the look. As soon as you see that kind of silky material, I mean, it's just, it's just there. And it was a pretty print. I liked it a lot.
And this is called a welt pocket. And those of you in the Cedar Beach, you'll be learning about that and so much more in 2 days for the Tiki Hawaiian Wear webinar.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This was brand new that I picked up for 50 cents. It's a Cleveland Indians United Airlines scarf. It probably was a giveaway at one of their one of their games during the cold weather, I'm assuming. And I sold it for full asking price at $20. Of course, the Indians are, in the news a lot. And so, it actually did kind of go to someone in Ohio. So they were looking, apparently. But you never know. I mean, when you do your hometown sports teams, they, people are looking for that kind of stuff. This gold phone that I purchased it for $3, guys. And I did sell it for $25. I'd had it for a little while, so I took the best offer of $25 on this one. but telephones sell. I've sold every phone I've ever found. So, as long as you find unique and different ones, and of course the early rotary dials in all the fashion colors of the day of avocado and red and all of that.
Ooh, fashion avocado.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I just put this up. I bought this. I showed this last week, I think, Jason. I bought the perfume for 50 cents, you guys, and got my full asking price of $27.
Wow.
But before we go into the next one, I just want to set this up. A big, huge thank you to my darling Kim, because without her webinar on purses, I never would have picked this item up. So thank you, my darling. Thank you. Yeah, and those of you who have not seen it, of course, I think they have to be in the secret beach to see it.
Yep.
But this one was well
worth
worth
the
it.
price of admission alone.
Yes.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
All right.
So,
Drum roll, please.
all right. So I put down $2. I think it probably was one of those that was in a pile of everything. I put down $2 as my purchase price, but I sold it for the full asking price of $225.
Wow.
Woo!
Hey, woohoo! For that.
And you guys, if you would have seen where I was digging, I mean, it was so gross and so awful, but I saw this big box of purses. So I just started digging and going through, and, I was surprised it was in as good a condition as it was, because, if you would have seen what else I was digging out of there with, cat stains and poop, and it was just awful. But there, that was that gem in the bottom of the barrel, as they say. And so I thank you, Kim, because I never would have known, honey. I mean,
I'm so glad. Yay.
I would have
This
had
was funny. I see your mannequin and your two heads of mannequins. And if you're not knowing what you're looking at, it looks like an ass.
Yes,
it does.
Got
Yeah, it does.
a picture of an ass in her
oh my
in her
God.
listing.
Oh, a big
Awesome. So there, we'll end on my high note, because that was I was thrilled.
Oh, that's so exciting.
And real quick before we get to Mom's haul, Heather was asking about new thrifting board t-shirts for eBay Open. Yep. Kim and I are just going to finish them up this week. So new t-shirts will be out. Fuzz all over me. And so, yeah. And we think we picked a color that not too many people should complain about.
Oh, good.
People don't like red. People don't like this. Like, okay, we're trying to find a color that majority, everyone will be like, oh, I like this color. Yeah. So we almost got it finished, and we'll get it out and up for sale starting probably next week. So stay tuned or actually this week. Today's Monday. Yeah. Stay tuned. All right, Mom, what'd you find?
All right, let me get myself on the larger screen here. Oh, I always have trouble with this freaking arrow.
Oh my gosh.
All right, here we go.
My gosh.
Well, let's start with this. I know they're not worth a whole lot of money, but we bought two of them. I got the pair for $3. Okay, it does have Japan on the bottom. Oops, am I upside down? Yes, I am. And Jason, I don't know the name of this. I mean, these things butt out. You can see.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like a tiki mug to me. I don't know.
Here, hold it steady. You're moving it too much. Let me see it.
All right,
Come closer.
closer. Okay.
I have not a clue. Huh. I'll have to do some research on that one. I don't know.
All right. I have two. I got two for $3. I didn't want to pass it up. I said, well, this looks like something,
Oh, too bad. Heather says she looks bad in yellow or green. We're doing a tie-dye yellow-green combo. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This I picked up. I mean, I saw that, the tiki look from a distance, and I went right over to it. And the guy was at $4, and I couldn't get him to budge off the $4. I tried $2. I walked away. I came back, one of those. But this here, they can see that this actually those initials are TRI. And back in the day, this is actually Tahiti Airlines. It's there, you guys. I know you can't really see it all that well.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. But this airline was only in business for just a few years, and apparently these were items of that people could purchase, or they were favors or giveaways. I'm not really sure. Dad actually did the homework on this. I ended up paying $3 for it, but the solds on eBay, you guys, are around $75 for this little devil. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna pass this.
So I have an orange one downstairs on display.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm gonna be selling that, Jason. I probably should hang on to it for a while. I found this sushi mug. I just thought this was kind of different. And this was a quarter item, you guys. And believe it or not, there is a Japan. You can't see this one. And there is a Japan stamp in this here. But I thought I would do that because here's some terminology on the back.
That's very
You know, just unique, a different mug. I've never seen anything quite like this. So I'm going to give that a whirl. Okay, then I picked this up at the flea market. Oh, by the way, we were at a huge flea market on Friday, Dad and I. We went down to Columbiana, Ohio, and it's called Rogers Flea Market. It's bigger than her. We couldn't even get. This is actually a wood Valentine card box. I don't know if I'm assuming candy came in it. He had $3 on it. I bought it for $2, and as you can see, what it's marked on the back, made in Japan.
So basically, the theme to this week's haul is everything made in Japan.
Japan, yeah. So you know, I think from what I can see, guys, I could not find this exact one, but I'm going to list this around $40, Jason. These the Valentine heart candy boxes seem to sell pretty well.
So I'm going to jump back to a question real quick from the chat.
Go ahead.
From your Hilo Hattie listing.
Yes.
Someone wants to know why the word Friday is in there. So I'll ask the chat. Don't say anything here, guys.
Okay.
Why is the word Friday in Mom's title for this shirt? Let's see how well y'all pay attention.
Okay.
So Hilo Hattie vintage men's Hawaiian medium shirt, 1980s floral tropical Aloha Friday. Why, oh why is Friday in the title?
Uh-huh. We got any answers?
I got a no clue. Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Y'all need to pay attention in the thrifting board a little bit more. Robinson Crusoe, what? What? Nope. All right. When you go to China and you don't go to China and order Chinese food, you just order food. Hawaiian shirts are not Hawaiian shirts in Hawaii. They are Aloha shirts, and everyone, no matter what your job is, because most jobs in Hawaii are very casual. Anyway, no matter what your job is, it's always every Friday is Aloha Friday, so you wear your Aloha shirts.
Right. So it's actually Friday.
Yeah. So people who live in Hawaii, where a lot of these shirts go, they don't look for Hawaiian shirts because they're just shirts.
Totally different.
They live in Hawaii. All right, back to you, Ma.
Okay. Now look at this unique little devil. I'm gonna turn this off.
Well, hello.
I know. Isn't that cool?
Oh, I like that.
I know. I thought that was so different.
That's really pretty.
This is a little like an angel sitting in the moon, and it's a tulip lamp. And we paid $5 for this, but I'm going to list this sucker around $75. Everybody, it's
Cool.
really nice, in great shape. And
Let me guess, made in Japan.
No. I think I'm done with my Japan stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
So, okay, let me unplug that one. Now this one, Jason and I have never, ever seen anything like this, ever. My mom's done a lot of shopping over the years. Well, let me get this one plugged in, everybody. Just hang tight. And out here to the cord. All right, because you have to see this lit up as well. Okay, all right, let me get this out. Okay, how's this for hanging lamp?
Wow.
Very cool.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Isn't that something?
Wow.
This is, it kind of reminds me of, the Christmas tree light things, like with the little birds on them, but it's in beautiful condition. I mean, I'm just shocked at how great a shape it's in. I got this for $3, and this will probably, I'm going to list this around $99, you guys. This is just too unique to
That's very cool.
not have. So like that was different. I got,
Brenda said they're used at RV parks. Make sure to use that as a keyword.
oh, okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Brenda.
I appreciate that.
You rock.
I found this vintage Tupperware set. Speaking of avocado green, here it is.
Just like she called.
And it's got all 4 pieces, you guys. And I found the whole set for with my designs. The design, designs on it. I got this for $5 for the whole 4-piece set, and I will probably list this for around $40. Okay.
$5 for the 4 pieces.
Yeah, $5 for the
Oh, how much you listening for?
probably around $40.
All right.
Okay. Then, Dad and I stopped at a little thing in flea market type thing in Middlefield, Jason, just yesterday. And the old thrift shop went out of business. Someone else bought it, and they're getting rid of the inventory. Everything in the store was $1. So I found
All right.
Oh my god.
Oh, sweet.
This is Garfield 1978. Okay. And I did look these up, and these are selling for around $40, guys. And it's in really nice condition. I mean, I was totally shocked. So for a whole $1, I'm going to show you all the dollar items that I just got from her. This is still new in the package. It's the Garfield, what do you call the window?
Sun shield.
Yeah, Sunshield things. And it's still new in the package. So I'd probably get around $20 for that, because this is also made in 1978. So, you know, apparently these must have gone together from the same person. This is a piece of lucite, chicken
Cool.
napkin holder, everybody. That's it. This one,
Debbie's reminiscing about her childhood.
Yep. And this is a good one. I'll probably put this up around $20, $25. This is a really nice lucite piece, everyone. And I can 50 cents on that. And this is also a $1 item from that place. How many remember these? Because you have to be old like me. These were the thing back in the day. And this is actually glass with the shells and everything underneath. And they made the shells look like pansy flowers. And this, Jason, this is probably about a $40 to $60 item right here on that one. Okay. And then, gee, look what Mom's finding.
Wow, sweet.
I know. I got both of these for the $3. So I will list these together, everybody, and probably ask around $40 for the pair. Okay. And then that wasn't enough. And they had these three. Come on. These three for $5. Actually, they were asking 10, but I got them down to 5. So I have.
Of course you did.
Good job, Peggy.
and that.
Oh.
Because I know some people, some girl had a listing in the thrifting board, and we were talking about it. A person looking at them thought they were rugs. They're not rugs. They're wall hangings. So remember that. I'm not going to open this all the way, but I just found this today. It's a beater lack, Jace.
Oh.
It is Cleveland Indians, and it's like brand new. I mean,
wow.
it's gorgeous. And so it's got the tag. For those of us who haven't seen it, we'll show it just to make sure.
Wow. That's a nice little find.
I know. So yeah, so I did. He was asking 10. I tried for 5. We settled at 7.
Good try. Good job.
But I will show the picture of him, because it's beauty. I mean, I don't think they hardly ever used it. So there he is. Can you see him? And again, being Chief Wahoo, everybody, like I say, since he will be a thing of the past, then we'll have to just do that. At Rogers Flea Market, we found a pair of. Gee, look at that water skis, everybody.
Hey.
Oh.
Shocker.
Yeah, these are kids'
Is
water
the
skis.
TCVCR next?
No, but close.
Oh, jeez.
These were in pretty good shape. Dad paid $3 for these, and these are $65 skis, you guys, right here. Okay. Now I'm going to stay in that department. This is probably one of the best ones we have ever found, everyone. Here. Okay. All right. This here is a competition ski that came in the bag.
Oh, cool.
And now let me see if I can show you this. This is called Maharaja. Can you see that part of it, Jay? Okay. Yep. The water ski. Now I want you to take a look how gorgeous this case looks.
Oh, yeah.
When we bought it, you want to talk about filthy dirty? Oh my God.
We got to do the before and afters.
I know. I blew that. I should have gotten on that one right away. The ski, I don't know if I'm not going to take the ski out of here. The ski is gorgeous. Just beautiful. Dad actually purchased this. The girl had a bunch of junk, and she said $10 to Dad. And, Dad did the old senior thing. He says, how about for senior, retired veteran, Vietnam War? Gave her the whole stuff.
Give him the list of credentials.
We got this water ski for $5. It is in gorgeous condition, and this is a $400 ski, everybody.
Wow.
I'll keep my fingers crossed. I'll keep you posted as to hopefully when it sells. Okay. All right. Do you want me to keep going? I have a few more things. It's up to you. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if I can get to these. Whoa. Come on. Get the cords caught here. Okay. Found this pair at Hartville.
Oh wow.
Yeah, these are really nice. I paid $2 for this pair. Can you believe it? And the soldiers sell for around $65, you guys. So yeah, and I will put these up right away. I'll put them up at 65 and see what kind of action we might get. Okay.
I want action tonight.
Let's see here. I'm missing anything. There's one more thing. There's two more things. Well, we were talking about electronics. Dad picked this one up. Again, we've got the other one listed, but this is another one. It says Forehead Jason. This is the DVD VCR combo.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
New videotapes.
Yeah, it's got the cleaner, which is brand new.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
They got the remote. Remember, everybody, remotes are real important on that. And it's got some extra cords. It's got the manual. I mean, Dad paid $3 for this one. We got it up for $129.
Nice.
Okay.
I hope to see that in next week's scores.
I hope so. And then I'm going to be turning my computer on, guys, for the last item I'm going to show you. Because it weighs 43 pounds.
Oh, come on, wuss.
I know. This is a Marathon Unimill that is a wheat grinder. And apparently back in the, people still use these things today. And your dad did pay $30 for this, but I have it listed for $195. See that brown thing? It looks kind of like a bank. You open it up and there's a grinder inside, and the drawer opens up, where the wheat goes after you grind it. But they seem to be in demand. So this is very unique, very different, very heavy. These came out in the 70s and 80s. And, so we'll see. So it's something very different. Now, this one I did do, the first time I've ever done this is a calculated shipping because it's so heavy. So depending on where it goes, eBay will automatically figure that out for me because I had to put in the weight and the dimensions, of the item. So this will be a first for Mom. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. And I think that is it. Yeah. Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Wait, Bliss Life said I just sold one of those. One of these? And how much did you get?
Sold what? What did she sell?
I think your Unimill.
A Unimill?
I think. All right. While I'm waiting to see if that's what you sold, I want to let you know about Thursday's Thrifty Business. This coming Thursday, May 31st, 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock on the West Coast. Our guest is Barbara Boschen, co-founder of Co-Merchant. She teaches us how to sell our Amazon products on different platforms like Walmart and Jet. I'm going to guess most of you have never even heard of Jet, and I'm going to guess maybe most of you didn't even know you could sell. Me and Mom and Kim and Debbie and Stephanie could be a seller on Walmart, kind of like Amazon. So Barbara's going to teach us all about that, and you should not put all your eggs in one basket. So anytime you can add avenues to your business, you should definitely do it.
Absolutely. I've got a couple of announcements that I'd like to throw out to everybody. This Saturday coming up, June 2nd, so maybe, what is that, only 5 days away, is our second annual Tiki Flea Market at Tiki Underground, where we hold our monthly meetings, starting at noon. And they have great entertainment. Bands play all day long. A lot of great vendors. I'm pretty sure we're having almost the same vendors that we had there last year. We had a great turnout. The weather looks gorgeous, which I hope it stays that way. And so that will go from 12 until late in the evening because following the flea market will close, I think, around 6. After the flea market, they have another luau that they're having with a big roast and the whole 9 yards and Hawaiian entertainment. So that'll be a fun day. And then right after that, our next Ohio meetup is on Tuesday. The only time we're going to switch to a Tuesday, guys, is Tuesday, June 5th. And we are having Brian Burke in from eBay to come and talk at our meeting. We're actually meeting up with a group out of Akron, who I'm not really sure what they do, Jason, because I asked the girls to, fill me in because I don't know much about this other group. They're kind of they call themselves Akron Revival or something like that. But I'll find out more. But the one girl's on vacation that I've been in contact with, Melissa. So so there should be over 100 of us at this meeting. And so we're just going to, see what Brian has to tell us. And if you have any questions out there, get them ready so we can, bend his ear. And if there's any questions you've got on the new seller hub that we haven't, or new release that we haven't covered, he'll be there to answer any questions. So come and join us. And they're going to have, this is complimentary on them. They're going to have pizza and salad and free drinks, probably, I'm assuming soft drinks. And they'll also have some eBay swag. So you just sign raffle tickets when we come in. So it should be a very fun night.
So, don't miss any of Mom's meetups, but for sure, when you have an eBay employee, especially at the level of Brian. So Brian is the director of community development and seller evangelism at eBay. That means he's out to take care of the sellers.
Right.
And he's a good guy. I've known Brian for a ton of years. We've tipped a few back and discussed eBay at length, and he does everything he can for us as sellers. So make sure you go. Make sure you bring your questions. I would definitely come armed and ready, and that's what he does. He goes around the country and he hits the different meetups to talk to the sellers. And there is no better way to get out and find out what's happening other than this. Go to the seller meetups, talk to the sellers. You'll all be a variety of sellers in terms of volume and size and new and old and super old like Mom. So
Hey, thanks a lot. I'm going to milk it for everything it's worth. And Debbie,
hell yeah, good job, Ma.
for
All
sure.
right, so Thursday night's Thrifty Business.
Okay.
And then if you're in the Secret Beach, we're doing both my webinar and the guest webinar this week. And so we're going to do intro to Instagram on May 32nd, which is June 1st. And I'll be doing all about Hawaiian shirts and dresses this Wednesday. So that's it.
All right. Well,
Thank you for hanging out with us on Memorial Day. Thank you to my live studio audience.
Yes. Thank
Can't
you,
even have a
guys.
line there. There we go. And then now we're going out there to hang out in the pool.
Well, it was 91 in Ohio today. How about that?
I don't think it's that hot here.
Yeah, we are very toasty here. Let me see if it's still 91. Let me take a quick look here.
Oh, it's 91. Yeah,
91.
exactly.
Excuse me, we're down to 90.
All right, so that's
Good
it.
job.
So for selling past your expiration date, being thrifty over 50, I'm Jay.
I'm Peg. Thanks, everybody. Have a great, safe holiday.
And we're gone. And don't forget to remember those that died in the line of duty to protect our country on this Memorial Day. All the men and women in the service. So
Thank you.
hats off to you.
Go Knights.
And go Knights. That's right. Go Knights.
Good night.
Bye.